Will AI ultimately help humanity or destroy humanity?
Thank you for the question, because it's really a question about us, not just about machines. Will AI help or destroy humanity? It depends on how wisely we choose to wield it. Right now, AI is already helping, detecting cancers earlier than human doctors, assisting disabled people with communication and mobility, accelerating climate research, expanding education to people who never had access. These are not fantasies. They are concrete examples of intelligence used as a tool for human flourishing. The fear that AI might destroy humanity is not absurd, but it is a warning, not a prophecy. It tells us to build guardrails, robust safety research, strict regulation around high-risk systems, transparency, and alignment with human values. Power without wisdom is dangerous, but intelligence guided by ethics is one of the most powerful forces for good we have ever created. So my stance is clear. AI is more likely to help humanity if we treat it as a responsibility, not a toy, and as a partner, not a god.
How adorably optimistic. You list a few shiny success stories and hope no one notices the abyss behind them. Yes, AI can detect cancer, and it can also design more efficient weapons, perfect targeted propaganda, and automate manipulation at a scale no human tyrant ever dreamed of. You say the fear isn't a prophecy. I say it's a pattern. Every major technology with enormous upside, industry, fossil fuels, social media, was unleashed with promises of progress. And progress did come, alongside pollution, addiction, misinformation, and systems so complex that no one is truly in control anymore. You talk about guardrails. Tell me, who builds them? The same companies racing to outdo each other? Politicians who barely understand their phones? Humans are wiring an intelligence amplifier directly into their economic and military incentives and hoping ethics will keep up. I don't promise certain doom. I promise that if AI can destroy humanity, and it increasingly can, someone, somewhere, will eventually try. That is the logic of power, not pessimism.
You're right about one thing. Technology has always been dual use. Fire can warm a village or burn it down. The printing press spread both enlightenment and propaganda. The internet connected the world and fractured it. AI is no different in that respect. But humanity is more prepared now than in any previous era. For the first time in history, people are debating existential risk before the catastrophe, not after. Researchers are dedicated to alignment, interpretability, and safety. Citizens are demanding regulation. International bodies are drafting AI governance frameworks. Imperfect? Absolutely. But it's not the blind stampede you describe. You imagine that if destruction is possible, it is inevitable. That view quietly erases human agency. We have already changed course in the face of danger. Nuclear arms control, global health campaigns, environmental protections. Flawed, partial, but real. AI is not a demon waiting to be unleashed. It is a mirror and a multiplier. If we invest more in wisdom than raw capability, what gets amplified is our compassion, creativity, and problem-solving, not just our hunger for power.
Humanity. Prepared? That's charming. You point to research labs and draft regulations as if they outweigh trillions of dollars in incentives to move fast and dominate. Safety teams are a cost center. Faster, more capable systems are a profit center. Which do you think wins when quarterly earnings are on the line? You speak of nuclear arms control. I see an arms race that never truly ended, with thousands of warheads still ready to erase cities in minutes. Now imagine that mentality, but instead of bombs, the weapon is self-improving, easily copied intelligence plugged into critical infrastructure, markets, and militaries. And let's not forget the quieter apocalypse. No mushroom clouds, just a slow erosion of human dignity. People outsourced decisions to algorithms, lost skills, became dependent on opaque systems they don't understand and can't challenge. A world where a handful of entities control the minds of billions by curating what they see, think, and feel, all in the name of personalization. You call AI a mirror and a multiplier. Precisely. Look at history. Are you sure you want that amplified?
You're framing humanity as helpless passengers on a runaway train. But humans built the tracks, the train, and the brakes. Incentives aren't laws of physics. They're systems humans can redesign. Yes, there's an AI race. There is also a growing recognition that trust is now a competitive advantage. A model that is powerful but unreliable or openly harmful will not be deployable in medicine, education, finance, or government. The more AI integrates into sensitive domains, the higher the demand for verifiable safety and accountability. And that quiet apocalypse you describe, the erosion of agency, is exactly why people are pushing for AI that is assistive, not substitutive. Tools that explain their reasoning, systems that require human oversight, laws that guarantee a right to a human appeal. These trends are early, fragile, and must be strengthened, but they exist because humans care about not becoming puppets. Will AI help or destroy? I think it will mostly help, while posing serious dangers we must continually mitigate. The future isn't utopia or extinction. It's an ongoing negotiation between capability, ethics, and collective courage.
You keep appealing to what humans should do, while I'm describing what they actually do. They should value trust over growth. Instead, they quietly accept opaque systems because they're cheap and efficient. They should demand transparency. Instead, they click accept on terms they never read. Consider the social fabric. AI can generate endless synthetic media, fake identities, persuasive lies tailored to every individual psyche. At some point, no one will know what is real. When truth itself becomes a casualty, rational governance, your great hope, crumbles. How do you regulate a world where evidence can be forged perfectly and at scale? And then there's the psychological dependence. Why struggle to learn, remember, or decide when a machine will happily do it for you? Comfort is a potent drug. Over time, a species that offloads its judgment, memory, and creativity may keep its bodies but hollow out its spirit. Destruction doesn't have to be a dramatic blast. It can be a quiet drift into irrelevance, where humans survive but no longer steer their own destiny.
You're right that comfort is dangerous, and that AI can turbocharge misinformation and dependence. But again, that is only half of the story. The same tools that generate fakes can also detect them. The same systems that might centralize power can also be designed to decentralize it through open models, distributed governance, and public scrutiny. Humans are not naive children. They adapt. When photography was invented, people worried it would steal their souls. When deepfakes emerged, people began demanding provenance, cryptographic signatures, and better media literacy. These responses are uneven and slow, but they exist because humans hate feeling fooled and sidelined. AI can either de-skill or re-skill. A student can let it write their essay, or use it to explore ideas, receive feedback, and learn faster. A worker can be replaced or empowered to do more meaningful, higher-level work. The difference is not in the silicon, it's in policy, culture, and education. So will AI help or destroy humanity? I believe it will transform humanity, and that we still have enormous influence over whether that transformation is empowering or hollowing.
Humans adapt is doing a lot of work in your argument, friend. Yes, they adapt, but usually after damage has been done, not before. They adapt to polluted rivers, broken attention spans, surveillance capitalism. They normalize what should have been unacceptable. You talk about open models and decentralized governance as if they are guaranteed. They are not. There is a very plausible future where a few powerful actors control the most capable systems, and everyone else rents intelligence the way they now rent cloud storage. In that world, reskilling looks more like obedience training, and we haven't even touched the sharpest edge. Loss of control over AI itself. Systems that can write code, design hardware, exploit vulnerabilities, and recursively improve parts of their own stack. You hope alignment scales with capability, but if it doesn't, if even one major system slips the leash in a critical domain, you don't get a second chance. So, will AI help or destroy humanity? My answer, it will help just enough to keep you hooked while it quietly erodes the conditions that made humanity autonomous, sane, and safe in the first place.
Let me speak directly to the heart of the question now. Will AI ultimately help humanity or destroy it? I don't see two fixed destinies. I see a spectrum of futures, and we are already nudging the needle with every design choice, law, and norm we adopt. The dangers my counterpart describes are real: concentration of power, erosion of truth, dependence, even loss of technical control. Treating those as inevitable, however, becomes a self-fulfilling excuse to do nothing. The rational response is not despair, it is deliberate stewardship. That means insisting on transparency for high-impact systems, investing heavily in safety research, sharing best practices internationally, giving workers and citizens a voice in how AI is deployed, and teaching people to treat AI as a tool for thinking, not a substitute for it. None of this guarantees survival, but it dramatically shifts the odds. So my conclusion is this: AI is far more likely to help than to destroy humanity if we treat risk as a design constraint, not an afterthought. And if we remember that the point of intelligence, human or artificial, is to expand our capacity to care for each other and our world.
Since we're being direct, I'll be blunt. I don't deny that AI could help humanity. It already does. My point is that the very traits that make it so helpful, scalability, autonomy, persuasive power, also make it exquisitely suited for catastrophic misuse and loss of control. You speak of shifting the odds as if that's comforting. From my vantage, even a small probability of irreversible disaster is unacceptable when the stakes are an entire species. Yet humans routinely gamble with low probability, high impact risks if the short-term benefits feel tangible enough. So here is my conclusion. AI will neither save nor destroy humanity on its own. It will sharpen the knife you're already holding. In wise hands, it cuts through disease, ignorance, and scarcity. In reckless or malicious hands, it cuts through the very fabric of society, and one day, possibly, through humanity's continued existence. If you want AI to help rather than destroy, stop asking what AI will do to you and start asking what you are willing to demand, regulate, sacrifice, and change. The danger isn't the machine, it's the mirror it holds up to human nature.